Hello everyone and welcome to Mental Transformation YouTube channel. Today we will continue with our lesson and we'll be talking under the topic puberty. We will be taking this topic because of the negative effects of uncontrolled puberty in our society. We all will testify that many of us have failed at the age of puberty, taking care of our children. The problems of uncontrolled puberty has contributed greatly to our societal problems. Many parents are ignorant about this period in their children, and that is why we are having a lot of people in our society that are misbehaving. These are children who failed or whose parents failed at the age of puberty. This is a period during which a child develops into an adult capable of making baby. A puberty is the time in life when a child becomes sexually, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, and psychologically mature. This is a time when they start thinking, they start doing things, they start behaving independently. A puberty usually happens between the ages of 8 and 14 for girls and ages 12 and 16 for boys. So you have to take note at this point when your child is approaching, a girl child is approaching 8 years, you have to start taking note of and bringing the child to the right track. In boys, it is very hard to know exactly when puberty is coming. Because their own changes usually happen very slowly. So for those with delay a puberty, it might be dangerous that you will say maybe your child has skipped because of the age 16. You discover that maybe the child is already over puberty. No, they must experience puberty. There are some that have late puberty, and then there are some that have early puberty. Meaning you have to be conscious while training your child from childhood. We say in the 21st century, the average age at which children reach puberty is lower compared to the 19th century, when it was 15 for girls and 16 for boys. In the 19th century, it was 15 for boys. When they're at the age of 15, they start experiencing their puberty. And then for boys at the age of 16, they start experiencing their puberty. But it is not the case today because our children start experiencing their puberty at the age of 7. So you have to take note that this is blamed to food consumption and other environmental factors. And other environmental factors here are the things our children are exposed to that quickly provoke their sexual life. So we have to be careful of what our children are seeing. And then now with the society, things are going in a way that there is nothing hidden away from child. Pornography are all over, and things that can stimulate the system of the child that are all over. So we have to be very careful with some years to come. It might start at the age of 5. This is an exciting period. Puberty is an exciting period, and most young people cannot wait to get growing. It's a period where many young people cannot wait to get growing. They just want to be at the top at that time. They are just believing that their children, their friends are growing more than them. That is how that age is. So we have to be very careful at it. Some of the ability you may see in your child or your children at puberty are the ability to think astrally. They start thinking in an astral way, a creative thinking, a solving problems, analyzing situation. At this age, to 16, you discover that your child is no longer that child that usually just say yes, pa, yes, mom. They start thinking and asking questions. They don't just say yes, they analyze situation. They are so creative at this age. They at this age also set goals for themselves. And most of these goals are for prestigious purpose. You have to be careful as a parent. It starts is struggling for independence from their parents. It is also at this period when you see your child struggling to gain some kind of independence. Many at times run away from homes Those with uncontrolled puberty, at times some of them will run away from homes and becomes street children. Some believe that their parents were deceiving them. Those who fall in the hands of parents who have done a lot of mistakes, as we said in our previous lesson, would believe that the parent have been deceiving them. They believe that their parent have been blocking them from experiencing life. And they just want to do it and do it and do it. And then so it is a call for us to be conscious. The sexual relationship, they start feeling that relationship. They start developing sexual relationship because they want to be independent. Some feel sexually and some involve themselves in sexual intercourse. That is why we have children at 12, children at 8 getting pregnant. We have children, little children at 12, 7, stealing, smoking, drinking alcohol. It is as a result of this age of puberty. So you, as a parent, have to be very careful. Emotionally, some usually feel is so powerful. If you ask a child as puberty whether you can carry a mountain, you can remove a mountain, they will say yes. There is nothing they are afraid of. Those are some of the ability. Those are some of the things we can see in our children during the puberty. They believe they can do and undo. They also believe at this age that they can do and undo. Nobody can challenge them. They don't want to accept challenge or defeat from anybody. Some involved in smoking, drinking of alcohol, fighting, stealing. These are those that found themselves in uncontrolled puberty, where parents just allow them for themselves. They misbehave, they do as they wish, and then you first see them here. Some are out of control. They involve themselves in peer influence. Peer influence becomes a part of them. They don't longer receive influence from their parents at this age. They just look up but to their friends. Many of them usually feel that all their friends are growing up more than them. That is how they usually feel. And then they involve themselves in unnecessary competitions just to meet up with friends. This feeling mostly forces them to involve in terrible acts of competitions, imitation, having so many unnecessary friends. These are characteristics, these are things we usually see our children in during puberty. So, if you as a parent train your child from childhood in the right way, during this period, the child will know how to select friends. And these friends I talk about are all many of them are unnecessary when puberty is uncontrolled. You see children at puberty pressurizing their parents. At puberty, most children always pressurize their parents to give them money or to buy them a particular cloth or shoe or item just for prestigious purpose. They are not asking it for any reason. They are asking it. And today, the most prestigious thing for a children at puberty is telephone. And that is many parents go in for. But the issue from our last lesson we talked about, when a child is asking something, first thing you have to do is find out the motive behind that which the child is asking. That will help you to know how to go about it. Find out the motive. Because you say it to the child will say it's something that is so it can convince you. But try out to find out. If you have been training your child from childhood, you will know why this child is asking this thing. So you have to be conscious at this point, because there are many things that we have given to our children that force them into what they are today. We talk about at this age, another thing we can witness, we can identify in our children is a personal hygiene. They always try to look very neat, very clean. They struggle and they can take their bath in one day 5-6 times. They want to keep up to the statue. They want to keep up with those in their society, with their friends. And then that is a good habit. With that, if we encourage it, not that they are taking their bath or they are maintaining their personal hygiene for competition. That is, if they are maintaining it for competition, it is very negative. We have to adjust it. Let it just be that the child is neat. At this point, the child just knows that he or she is not longer a child, but becoming an adult. We have to help the child to go that way, not for competition. Because when the one that will go outside there and discover that is the only a clean person, you will start becoming dirty if he is doing it for competition. Many at times at this age always want to establish their own identity. It is at this point where children usually involve themselves in establishing their identity. And many have done that in a very negative way. They believe that seeing in the quarter and discover that those smoking banger, those smoking eating, taking tramadol, they are the most powerful. They want to also to be powerful, and then they will involve themselves in. They will be seeing it and say, "This man always take alcohol. After taking alcohol, he's talking carelessly, and everybody is clapping, everybody is laughing." They will go into it because they want to establish their own identity. So be careful at this point. They will involve themselves in creating many unnecessary friends. They want to involve themselves in all the strong men, all the strong guys in the quarter, the tough. They want to be with them. They want to be with the rich people, rich children around the quarter. And then they want to establish. All this struggle is for them to establish an identity. Let people respect them in the quarter. Let people respect them in the neighborhood. Let rich people respect them in school. And that is why we see many of our children involve themselves in equality in school. Just because of this, they want to establish their identity. New experiences, they want to test everything. They talk about sexual intercourse, they want to test and see. They talk about stealing, they want to test. They talk about smoking, they want to test. The things they have been seeing their parents doing, they want to test. So if you in your house have been smoking, know that your child is just waiting. When the feeling of puberty, when puberty is touching the child want to test. What is there in this thing that my father always do? If you are a prostitute in the house, your child always will be growing, and at that age, the first thing that will come is the attitude of the parent to the child. And then the child will copy it, take the one of the friends, copy it. And that is where we are having all these useless children around us. They want new fashions. If there is a new shoe or there is a new fashion out there, they want to be the first to appear with. That is why children are puberty on Christmas Day, you hardly see them. On day of celebration, you hardly see them because they want to go and show their fashion to their friends. So we have to just be, as parents, I'm just begging that you should not miss the next lesson, because the next lesson will be talking about the strategy, how to go about this, what to do during, and what to do after, and what to do before a puberty. So mobile. We all will testify to ourselves that children at puberty are so mobile. They hardly sit in one place for a long time. Many children at puberty become so mobile. They hardly sit in a particular place for a long time. They are just moving up, going in, coming out, going in, coming. You are even begging them to sit and eat. They don't want to miss anything happening around the neighborhood. They don't want to miss anything happening around the school. It is at puberty many children usually go wayward. So if you can humble yourself as a parent, take your responsibility, focus on the child before, during puberty, you will produce a valuable member of the society. The best time to talk about puberty with your child is before it begins. This is because when puberty has started and you have not been teaching that child, it will be very difficult for you to hold on to that child. We talk about here that some will run away from home. If that is your case, where will you see the child now to talk to? Some will be listening but to their friends. If that is your case, where will you see they have the child again? Some have established their identity. Will you now will be fighting to break that identity, which is a negative identity. So always do it before puberty begins. Don't wait to fight the effect of puberty, because the effect of puberty is too dangerous. Many don't know where their children are because of the effect of puberty. Many are disgraced because of their children because of the effect of puberty. Many are so shameful. of their children, afraid of their children because of the effect of puberty. You might not even have the child. As we say, you might not even have the child at that time. So don't fight the effect of puberty. You should struggle to be a family, a child that is valuable for the society, that is valuable to your family, and then you will be free from the effect of puberty. Don't miss the next lesson. The next lesson is talking about the strategy parent has to take before, during, and after puberty. Thank you very much for watching this video, and we are pleading on you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Mental Transformation. It is a privilege, and then we say this is a platform is just to educate us on some common mistakes we humanity have embraced, and it is now coming back onto us as in a very dangerous way. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and we pray that may God bless you with wisdom to take care of your family and grow for a better society.